This past weekend, me and Sonic Fox experienced a really uncomfortable situation visiting a furry 18 plus club. I'd been wandering around this club for quite some time, and I invited Sonic to join me and explore the club with me and have a good time and just dance.
So for those who may or may not know, like, Rappling and I are both black. We're very loud and open about that. So, you know, I'm being black on the dance floor. Like, truth be told, I'm in the club with my niggas. You know, we out here, we're vibing. We're dancing, like, people went from, like, sitting down to actually actively engaging with us. Like, it's a vibe. Like, niggas are dancing on this dance floor. And I say that out loud. This moderator goes up to me, white moderator, mind you, and tells me, as a black person, that I am not allowed to say the N-word. Like, you can just ask if I'm black, if, like, you're worried about, like, you know, somebody who isn't a person of color. Like, you're unsure, right? I get it, I'm in a furry avatar, right? So you can just ask. And not only was she the only one to say that, but two other moderators, also whom were white, doubled down on this in such egregious ways. Like, I couldn't help but be stunlocked how tone deaf what they were saying to me. It was like completely unbelievable.
On the surface, that sounds to some, you know, it makes sense that that policy might be in place. And it does make sense on paper. That said, everybody around us was having a perfectly good time. We were having a lot of fun, actually, and no one had any issue. But this moderator was watching us for quite some time and interrupted us the moment they got any way to shut down what we were doing, and we stopped dancing.
They killed the vibe. It was crazy.
Yeah, everybody in the circle was just like, oh wow, that was really weird. But it did not stop there. We got pulled aside by a second moderator who proceeded to lecture both Sonic and I.
This person told me that by me effectively saying nigga, that's not very furry. Like, it's like, we don't want that in furry communities. What does that even mean? Right?
Yeah.
Like what are you even talking about? Like, I couldn't believe it. I was just sitting here. I'm like, so I'm not allowed to be black in furry communities? But what are you talking about?
It was so uncomfortable that I had to ask this moderator. I literally put my hand up in the air and asked, do you have any like members of the staff here that are people of color or specifically black? And this person said yes. I had to ask them.
None of them were in the instance.
None of them were in the instance. And I had to ask them, like, do you have like a name, you know, just so we can like confirm that they're real? And it took them a second to think of somebody, and the person that they thought of...
I couldn't believe it. It's only that I just had to actually think about it.
And the person that they thought of wasn't a moderator. It was an MC. It was around 20 minutes, right? Like a 20-minute lecture about like...
It was really annoying.
And at the end of it, mind you, this was our first ever infraction. This person warned us that if the behavior continued, the behavior just being the use of that word, which Sonic already said, okay, I will stop using the word, that they would remove Sonic and that Sonic would be banned from this group. And this is a big group that's been established for quite some time in vrchat. And I was just shocked that this was Sonic's first experience in this space.
They were trying to defend the initial moderator too.
We were being so respectful. We honestly mostly just listened for like 15, 20 minutes. At this point, the moderators had realized that, like, yes, this is Sonic Fox, the, you know...
Yeah.
8-time EVO champion, and they were toggling between presenting this warning to you and trying to remove you from the group, but also kind of glazing you and saying,
it was really weird.
welcome to the club. Like, we want to make sure you feel welcome. But if you continue your behavior, you'll get removed. There's a third part of this, right? So the third moderator comes in.
There's a third part.
Yeah, after the second moderator left, a third moderator came in. And oh my goodness, they just sat down in front of us and said nothing. I had to be like, are we getting moderated again? Like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, no, like, I just wanted to welcome you to the club.
The person said, you know, we welcome all you people of melanin.
Yeah, this moderator, oh my god, this moderator.
That is my entire life. I was like, what? I was laughing in his face. I couldn't
it was really funny. I was laughing too. I was like, I had to mute myself and like laugh. Like, it was so
it's uncomfortable. Person of color. You can say person of color.
And it's just like, why would you say that in a situation like this? Mind you, this is a lead moderator person of this big furry club.
At this point, wasn't even moderating anymore. He was just trying to explain to me as a white person the origins of the N-word. Like, I couldn't believe it, but she was horrifically wrong, mind you. Yeah. And that's like, it really hit me. I'm just like, damn, people are just really ignorant on black culture. And like, it shows. He tried to explain to me that there's no difference between a black person saying the A or the ER version. I was just like, how wrong can you be? I really couldn't believe it. Like, I was just sitting here in disbelief. It was just all like hit after hit. So at that point, I'm like, how can I feel comfortable in a space where people just don't know what they're talking about when it comes to Black people?
It was extremely condescending, and this person qualified, well, I watched a YouTube video on the etymology of the N-word, so you're saying a slur. It's not the same thing. That club is okay with using the F slur. People were using.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I definitely heard
Yeah,
it.
people were
So-
openly using the F slur. So there is a big discrepancy in enforcement. It's like, well, when you say Black furry cannot use the soft A in a space, but gay or queer furries can use the F slur in the space, the way it comes across is you are a Black furry. If you show your Blackness here, you are not welcome. That person conversed with us for another like 15-20 minutes, and they got really argumentative, but at the same time followed both me and Sonic on social media. They had their own opinion about what our experience was, but they also wanted to like have us be part of the club as the people.
And I just couldn't. Like, if y'all know where I come from, I can. Like, I'm not somebody that tries to be a version of myself that I'm not. Right?
Nor am I ever.
I should have looked into his face and was like, look, dude, like, you guys need more Black people on your moderation team, or at the very least need like diversity training. Like, I'm so dead ass. Like,
yeah.
Just like, I'm good. I'm good with this conversation. He was nice, I guess, and like left, and I was just like, Rat Punk, why are we even here? Why are we even in this club?
Yeah.
Like, real life clubs do not function like this. I could definitely go into a real club with my niggas, say nigga on the dance floor, and turn up with my niggas. Like, it's like, I don't know how to tell you this. Like,
I straight up told the mod, like, hey, like, I don't feel comfortable being here anymore. They expressed over and over again that, like, no, like, please stay. Like, the messaging is so unusual because on the one hand, it's like, oh, well, if you continue being yourself, you are going to be banned. But please be yourself at our club. We love having you here, blah, 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 blah. It's just very weird.
Sure, we were laughing it off later that instance, but like, I really like thought about it. I'm like damn, like people are just really tone deaf to Black people. I already felt this way for like a really long time, specifically in furry spaces, but it really, really shows.
So as a consequence, both me and Sonic left the group. We left the instance and we didn't go back. And we didn't let it ruin our night.
We had a great night after that. Still.
We did. We did. It was a lot of fun.
We definitely made up for it.
But it was definitely not at that club.
Yeah. The point of this video is just to be a call to action, and like, especially those who are hosting these big events, like, really understand the room, really understand the vibe, understand the differences that different cultures bring to your community. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing this cool blue fox avatar or this undead chimera thing. Like, the point is we all come from different cultures and communities, and that should actually be celebrated in furry culture, right? And telling me that I'm not allowed to bring my Blackness to this community is in fact a form of discrimination. Be aware of the things that you say and do, because like, I know you're trying to be kind and nice and all that shit, but like, modern racism really shows itself in very subtle ways. And that was a really, really bad experience.
Yeah,
of the way
it's actually really bad. It will like, people like to use the word microaggression, but it's insidious how racism can just kind of creep up on us. Even people who feel as though they are not racist can sometimes be blind to the ways that they are racist. You know, we all have biases, we all have prejudices, and it's up to us to be anti-racist and recognize the ways in which we are not acting as human as possible to our fellow person. There are a lot of groups on VRChat. There are a lot of stories that we will never hear of people being treated very unfairly and being mistreated for any such way. And although we sometimes crave justice in these situations, the best thing that we can do in the moment for ourselves is to leave. We have that power. And for us, that night when it happened, that was the solution, was to leave that place and to make a better night in spite of what had happened.
And don't forget, chat, we need more diversity in furry spaces.